What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Carleigh Pierce and today we are going to be doing, we're going to be learning how to contour basically. So I know how to contour a little bit, but I don't know how to do a full face contour, a really in-depth one. So we are going to be watching Roxette do a contour for beginners video. And we're going to be following along. So hopefully all goes well. I'm not really exactly sure what to expect, but I'm really hoping that it goes well and we can learn a little bit on the do's and don'ts and see if what she does works for my face shape, because I know we are two different face shapes, so we're just going to kind of compare and see how following one of these tutorials actually goes. Obviously, you can kind of tell, but anyways, so we're going to go ahead and get started with all that, and yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the video and see what she says to do.
Personally, I like to begin the highlighting process with my concealer, so today I'm going to be using this one from NARS. It's the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard. You do want to use a concealer shade that I would say is about 2 to 3 shades lighter than your foundation shade. So I like to use this one because it has a really nice peachy undertone to it, so it actually cancels out discoloration underneath the eyes. So if you have purple or dark circles, this is really going to help cancel it out, but it also does help to have that brightening effect that we're going for with our highlighters. So I take this and I actually create a little bit of a triangle, so I'll apply it straight from underneath the eyes to about where the nose nostrils end and sort of go in a little triangle motion. Then with the same concealer, I'm taking that in between the brows and then up onto the forehead in a little palm tree motion, and then down the bridge of the nose. This you want to keep as straight as you possibly can because this is what's beginning our nose contour. Then I take it down the cupid's bow towards the lips and then continuing that line on the chin area, then going back to the nose, placing a little bit of the concealer on each side of that line that we've already created, and lastly underneath the cheekbones where we're about to contour. So this highlighting process is really going to give you a slim down effect.
Okay, so I went ahead and did my foundation before we started this video, and I do have a concealer that is lighter than my concealer. I'm using the CoverGirl True blend, and it is definitely a lot lighter than my foundation, not my concealer. It's lighter than my foundation. So we're going to go ahead in, like she said, and do it under the eye in a triangle formation, right about to the nostril. Okay. Then we're gonna make the palm tree. Then we're gonna try to do the line down the nose. I'm really nervous about getting a straight line because I'm someone who's always super shaky. I don't know why. It's just, I don't know. It's how I always am. So hopefully I can get this straight. Kinda. These are so uneven. I already messed up. We just got started. Okay, well, bring this one up a little bit. Okay, I think that's everywhere that we needed to highlight. Okay, let's keep going.
Give you a slim down effect. It's going to bring out any areas that you've just brightened. Then we're going to add some contour into the face using the Benefit Hoola Quickie Contour Stick. Now, contouring is really important because that is the step in this whole routine that's really going to slim down any features on your face and kind of bring them back, add some shadows, and add dimension to the look. So what we're going to do is take our little Quickie Contour Stick and just kind of go at it. So I first like to take the contour underneath the cheekbones to really get that defined look that we want. Then I start to take the product up towards the temples, and because I have a round face shape, I like to really heavily contour the sides of my face to elongate it. If you have more of an already naturally elongated face, then you're gonna actually want to go lighter on the sides but heavier on the forehead area. But like I just said, for me, I do go heavier on the sides, and you can see I still follow that same technique up on the forehead. So I tend to place most of the product on the sides and then just do a very small line on the highest forehead area. Then I move on to the nose contour. Because we already have that concealer down, it actually makes it a lot easier to do the nose contour. You kind of just go within the lines, definitely underneath the nose, to kind of give it that more uplifted look.
Okay, so we're gonna start. Honestly, I have no idea where I got my contour stick or what brand it is. I've had it for a very long time and I don't use it that often, so we're just going with what we have. We're just trying to recreate her contour with whatever I have. So we are gonna go above this line here. I don't know, I kind of think I should have used the lighter side. I used a really dark side, and I feel like it might be just a touch much, but I could be wrong. Okay, now we're gonna do the nose, and like she said, we're just gonna go in between these lines, so hopefully it is just super easy. I accidentally touched the concealer and it spread the concealer everywhere! Okay. Wow, yeah, she made this look so easy. Why was it not that easy? We're gonna call that good on the nose because it's not going well. Okay, and then she didn't say this, but I'm gonna go ahead and do the jawline too. I think we did it all. Decided maybe I should go with this darker up here a little bit too, just because I did everything else with like a mixture of the two, the darker and the lighter on both sides of this. So I feel like maybe I should continue that on everywhere that doesn't have one or the other, just so it's a little bit more even. Okay, now that we look crazy, let's see what the next step is.
Then you just want to blend everything out till it's nice and flawless. I do like to start with the concealer areas just because those are the areas that we're highlighting. Those are the areas that we want to keep on the lighter side. So I don't like to mix too much of the contour shade with the concealer. So I start off with the concealer areas and then I just kind of blend it out to my little heart's desire. And once I get to the contour areas, I always use pressing motion so as not to wipe any of the hard work that we've done already. And a little tip, if you feel like you've added too much contour, you can take a little bit of foundation and put it onto your beauty blender or beauty sponge and blend that in between the contour and the highlighted areas so that it has more of a seamless finish going from light to dark.
Okay, so now we're just gonna get everything rubbed in, but she started with the concealer, so we're gonna start with the concealer. I think the concealer dried on my face, and the amount of time it took me to get the other steps, I think the concealer has like glued itself to me. Do you see that? It's just coming off. Maybe if I put like a little bit more on the spots, it'll help fix them. I just didn't think about it. I didn't think they were gonna dry. Hers didn't dry. Well, she's using a lot better makeup than me. But still, you should warn someone. I wasn't ready. This isn't working. Do you guys see this? Like, it'll focus. Look at this. Do you see this? It's like getting splotchy. And it's like, does it look like it did anything other than like take off part of my makeup? Like, it's just taking it off. It's making my skin look really red. Why is it doing that? Why? I don't know. It's getting better. Wow! I don't know how. But all that zooming with it being rubbed in, it's kind of getting better. I mean, it's not like good. But I think if we just pat all the hearts away, eventually it'll be good. This is taking a lot of patting, guys. Like, it's a good thing my beauty blender is wet, because if it wasn't, this would not work. Look, it's doing this. You guys see that? It's like taking off parts, but eventually it does work. It's just gonna be a process, so bear with me. Just, you know, for future reference, if you're trying to do this and you're trying to follow along with her, like, I don't know, I think I would recommend maybe trying to blend in your concealer first. Like, unless you have the same type that she has, maybe it's just my concealer. Maybe it's weird, but it dried. Like, dried. It's like paint. I'm trying to get paint to blend into my face. I can tell you right now, this nose is going to have to be recontoured because it is so hard to get this lighter concealer blended in because it dried that I cannot keep the lines straight. There's just, it's not happening. It's just not. So, we're just going at it. And we will recontour once we are done. Okay, now we are going to go ahead and, again, with our contour and put it back on the nose because clearly all that got taken off. Does that look straight? I don't think it does. We're calling that good. Okay, so now we're going in and we're blending in all of the contour, and she said to do it in a patting motion. So we are doing it in a patting motion. My baby hairs are getting all up in my face. It's about to kill me. Okay, I think we're all blended. It looks fairly even. I think it'll help once we have the powder and stuff on, but I think it's all fairly blended out enough that it doesn't look like super weird. Okay, we're just gonna call it good. This was a struggle. I know it probably doesn't look like much of a struggle, but it was. It was a struggle because of the concealer. It did not like me. So let's go on to the next step.
Before we go ahead and finish off the contouring and highlighting, you do want to set down the base at this point. So you can either use a translucent powder, you can use like Laura Mercier, Dermablend, pretty much whatever you want, Coty Airspun, or a very light pressed face powder, which is what I'm going to do today. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder in the shade Medium 2. And I'm just taking this on a super fluffy brush. You definitely want to use a fluffy brush for this step. So this is the Sigma Spotlight Duster F37. And I'm just going to very lightly tap this into the face. You want to use pressing motions, not swiping motions or swirling motions, because you want to continue to press the product into the face so that we don't move around all those cream products underneath.
Okay, so I have my pressed powder. It's the Revlon Photo Ready. And we are just going to do what she said. We are going to press it into the face. I have never put on my powder like this. Okay, so I'd say the powder is all pressed down, I think. So let's go on to the next step.
Now, to further highlight that under eye, I like to take my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I use this little banana shade right in the middle because that shade really has a brightening effect. It has an undertone that, again, is going to cancel out any discoloration that you have under there. So I'm just taking that on the same exact brush, the Sigma Spotlight Duster, and pressing that into the under eye area. And I just ended up switching to the Sigma Tapered Highlighter F35 because I wanted something with a little bit more precision and just something that I could get a little bit more payoff with, because this palette is honestly really amazing. It's very, very creamy and pigmented. So I wanted to get like the full effect.
Okay, so we are not doing the Kat Von D palette, but we are doing kind of the same thing with a cheaper palette. So we're just going to tap in underneath the eyes like she said. Okay, so now we're continuing on.
I always do this when I'm doing tutorials for some reason. I forget liquid highlighter. I don't know what it is. Like when I'm like doing my everyday makeup off camera, I just know to do it. But for some reason, whenever I get on camera, all of a sudden my mind is just not with me and I forget. So I'm gonna still add on the liquid highlighter, although it is going to apply a lot more seamless if you do it before you powder anything. But YOLO! We're still gonna do it. So today I'm going to be using this highlighter, which I've been loving lately. So this is Benefit Sunbeam, and I like it because of the applicator. It kind of looks like a little nail polish, but it's so easy to apply. So I take this down the nose, like so. And then also a little bit here on the tops of the cheekbones.
Okay, so since she forgot to apply the liquid highlighter, which I knew because I watched the video before we started filming, but I completely forgot. So we are going to go ahead and do that too. Down the nose, and then she said the cheekbones. Okay, and then we're just going to blend that a little bit.
Alrighty, we got that under control. We remembered, it's all right. We're gonna move on. And then set down the contour. So I know this is a lot of steps, but this is like full out full contour and highlight routine, this is what I would do. So I'm going to take a mixture of these two shades from the Kat Von D palette and press that into the face with my MAC 168 brush. This is a really important step and a really good tip to press, because like I've said a million times in this video, it is so important not to wipe away those cream products that we already have down.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with that. I'm using my same Profusion Cosmetics contour palette, and we're going to be using, I don't know, I'm kind of thinking a mixture of these two here. And yes, now we begin to press. My camera is making this look like a lot more dramatic than I feel like it looks in the mirror. I don't know why.
Exact same product, but on a different brush. This is the best brush for nose contours, for powder nose contours, I should say. So this is the Morphe E47. It has a super flat and narrow edge, so I literally like stamp it on to my nose to do the contouring, and it's amazing. So like I said, I'm literally stamping it on to the sides of the nose around where we have already put that highlight down, and then I'm just gonna blend that out with any eyeshadow brush.
Okay, so we're gonna be using this brush to do that. And hopefully it works. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked. I just didn't finish my sentence for some weird reason, because that makes logical sense, right? Right? Okay, and we are just going to tap it in. Maybe I should get a brush. I can't decide. I didn't grab one and bring it in here with me, and I really don't want to get up, honestly. Like, I'm just being lazy. So, I feel like fingers work, right? Maybe. Call that good on the nose contouring. Now she's going on to highlight, but I just kind of want to go a little bit farther over my like forehead with powders, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that a little bit. Okay. So now we will continue.
Now we're done with like the contouring and highlighting section, but now we're gonna add on highlighter. So this is the Ofra Cosmetics Rodeo Drive Highlighter, one of my all-time favorites. It's such a beautiful formula, very pigmented, very creamy, and the perfect gold. So I'm just applying that with my Sephora Pro Fan 65 to the tops of the cheekbones. And you can see I do have like a little breakout here, so you actually don't want to apply the highlighter to that area. You want to apply almost like around it, or at least that's what I do. You could skip the highlighter too, but I still do it. I have trouble keeping this part straight, to be completely honest. I don't know what it is. I think it's like just my natural nose isn't like completely straight here, so I have a little trouble with that, but that's okay. And then right here above the Cupid's bow. Kind of looks like snot, but if it's glowy snot, we're okay with that. And of course, you guys know the inner corners of that.
Okay, so we are going to go in with this Visionary. It's kind of the gold, and we're going to hit the exact same places. So like here on the cheekbone. Okay, so now let's see what the final step is.
And just to make sure that everything is really nice and blended out, I do like to go back in with a fluffier brush. So this is the brush that I usually use for bronzer. This is the MAC 135, and I just lightly kind of blend out the edges so that that highlighter and the contour and the bronzer all kind of blend together nicely.
Okay, so now we're gonna go back out and blend them all together. Okay, and then even though she didn't say it, I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of blush because I'm a big blush person. So we're just gonna add it right here to the center of our cheeks and tap it in. Okay, so this is the finished contour look. I don't know, I'm not sure if I love it, like with how much effort it was. Maybe it'd be better if I had better products. Maybe if I went out and bought products specifically for contouring. I mean, I had some, but they're not like the best, and like obviously this concealer is not a good primer user. So maybe if things would have went a little bit more in my favor, this would have turned out a little bit better. But like, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad at all. And like, I don't know, it looks a lot better in my mirror than it does in the camera for some reason. I think it's just because the camera makes me look a little bit paler than I am, and because of that, it makes this look a little bit less good. But I feel like in the mirror, it looks very even, but you can tell that there was contouring done. So overall, I liked her tutorial. I think it was a good tutorial. It definitely went a little deeper into using them both, and I liked the idea that she had with like doing all of it with like the highlighter and the contour with the liquid, how it was all like mapped out over her face. But it just didn't go well because mine dried. But if it wouldn't have dried, I think that's a great idea to just go ahead and get it all done in one setting. Like, wada bing, wada boom, you blend, you're good, do the rest. But obviously mine didn't go that way because why would it, you know? Like, that would just be too easy. So if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe as always, please, I would appreciate it, and we will see you next week with another video. Bye!